Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I am here to assemble a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. Before we really get into too deep, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. Ooh. And if you just feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all during the stream and just hang out, go ahead and do that. Lurking is totally okay. It is a Saturday. It is the night before AEW Dynasty, which we will be chatting about tonight. It is also the time where I'm working on the BLOKEES Megatron Classic class. Hello, Lashbrook. We started this on Thursday. We're going to finish it tonight. There is no question in my mind that we will definitely be finishing that up, and so I invite you to hang out for that because it'll be a cool time. We do have the action version here. We have the the master grade to the high grade, and while one of them is Generation 1 Megatron, the original, the other one is from Transformers 1, which is an animated movie from a couple years ago. And so the Megatrons will look slightly different. We're really just going to compare and contrast the $20 kit and the $40 kit. So there you go. So anything else I need to say right now? Let's go to the overhead camera. As you can see, there's still plenty of shadows here. I have not solved the shadow issue when it comes to the overhead lighting. So if I have the light high enough over the surface, it does prevent, or it does reduce the amount of shadows. But what it does do, which I don't like, is it shines the light into my face and overexposes my face, and also has there's a bright light shining in my face I don't like. So I have it kind of tilted away, but if I tilt it more towards like me, it doesn't even really do what I want it to do. It kind of does. It kind of removes it. But I do think this is probably the best I've got for right now. Obviously, having a light higher over the whole surface would be better. And even light that lives above what I'm doing, that would be the best case scenario. Right now, I can't do that. I don't have the ability to do that. This would not be tall enough. I can maybe clamp it in a position where it would be high enough, where it would be over here and be far enough from my face to not illuminate my face. And that's something that I've certainly considered and I played around with. Unfortunately, that is not happening right now, but it could happen in the future. Perhaps I can figure out a way to do that. But right now I can't. So this is the best case we've got. Again, the shadows are not great, but as a reminder, I'm not doing anything in software in OBS, which I have had to do previously in order to brighten what I'm working on here. This is it's not natural, but it's approaching more natural lighting. What I really need is two lights, two big halogens that are facing away from me, and then reflectors that bounce the light back on the build surface and also illuminate me. But that would not work in this current room. That would just not work in the room. So we're not doing that. And that's okay. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're excited for a fun night of model kit construction. And let's get into it. I think, if I do, let me just try like that. Yeah, I don't hate that. I'm just going to keep fiddling with it until I'm happy, and it's going to be a while before I'm happy. Yeah, I don't mind that. We'll go like that. Yeah, I think that's okay. It's not ideal, but it's fine. It is what it is, and that is unfortunately the best we're going to do. But it's still better lighting than I've had. And again, if I do too much, it hits my face in a way that I don't enjoy. So it is what it is. But I'm still happier with this than using the previous lighting that we used and having to goose it. So yeah, so we'll get into that. This does light up a little bit. The eyes light up. You shake it and it does it. It's kind of hard to see, but the eyes are illuminated here. But again, pretty tough to see that on the $20 version. Hey, Lord Crashers, and welcome. But it does light up a little bit. It's just unfortunately kind of hard to see that in this. But if I take the head off, I think it's easier to see that it is illuminated there. And when I put the, yeah, it's just, it doesn't shine as brightly. Whereas, of course, the big boy version, the $40 kit, does have the magnet thing that turns on the light, and that is very noticeable, whereas not as noticeable here. We can turn the light. And that's just the Decepticon logo with the magnet, which is neat. Put that aside. But yes, right now you can see, obviously, Transformers 1, first generation Transformers, there are going to be differences, but obviously one feels substantial and one feels not as substantial. Nice, but not as substantial. And we'll get into more of that later. We're going to finish this kit up tonight. We will panel line it. It won't need much, but I will use a black marker, mostly on the silver, just to give it a little bit of a pop. Again, it doesn't really need much, but it is nice to have that. And this plastic does take a marker, so we'll do that. No stickers, and no tools required. So you won't see me using any tools here, unless I skip a step somewhere and I need to bust some pieces out, to fix a mistake or something. But other than that, we should be good. So we'll put that aside here, get into this there. 2.6. But yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. And I'm not going to say for sure I'm going to end this early, but I might end a little early tonight. If we finish this kit and we finish all the panel lining and I'm definitely done, I might call it early a little bit. We'll see. I was not watching AEW Collision, but I did see a report on how some of, if not all of the matches went. And I can tell you that unfortunately, Jet Speed and Mystico, the team of Jet Speed and Mystico, have lost their AEW Trios Championships to the Dogs. So I do imagine at some point we will see the Dogs get, maybe have a title opportunity, maybe a rematch. They'll do a rematch. I don't know. Or it could be that Mystico was not available tomorrow, so they just chose to take the belts off of them. I don't know why they did this. I don't know why they moved the Trios titles to the Dogs on, like, fucking Sunday, or on the pre-tape Collision. I'm not sure why they did this, but they did do it. So now, unfortunately, Gabe Kidd is a champion in AEW. Gabe Kidd will always have been a champion in AEW, and that is sad to say, because I think Gabe Kidd is bad at doing this stuff. I think he's a bad wrestler with a bad gimmick. So I am annoyed that he has a championship in AEW. He got a championship in AEW before Brian Keith did. That doesn't feel great to me. I don't love that. Because I think Brian Keith is phenomenal, and it's a shame that he doesn't get to do more cool shit in AEW. So yeah, I was just like, that doesn't feel good. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, it is just part of the whole thing. But we'll talk about some AEW stuff here. I'll run down the card, and I will keep updating it between the next 45 minutes in case matches get announced and then gets updated. There's only one pre-show match so far, so I imagine another one will be added, maybe even fucking tomorrow. But we'll see. And then the only pre-show match that is listed is... Sorry, I had to get this on here because I got to get this other leg on here, and we're done with the leg, like that. There it goes. Now all we have left is arms and weapons. So we'll get some arms together and some weapons together here. Do the right arm. What was I saying? Oh yeah, yes. Alex Windsor is taking on Marina Shafir. Alex's tag team partner is taking on Thekla. And so there is certainly reason to believe that perhaps there will be some interference in this singles match by... well, it's a weird thing. because I imagine, jumping ahead, I imagine Tekla will be champion going out of this. So I'm like, well, what else can happen here? Then you need another babyface. So Alex Windsor could be the next babyface to go after, but I'm like, maybe it's Mina is the next one, and they just didn't have Mina for the show or this week, so they didn't want to do that because it would, to me, make sense if it was Mina going full at her. But I was like, I don't know what's happening with there. So, because I don't have an answer for this, I feel like Marina Shafir is going to win, especially if they're going to go after the tag belts next, because they would make the most sense to go after the tag belts. Indeed. We do have Transformers 1, the animated movie, Transformers 1 version of Megatron, our Fall of Cybertron movie. Let's see. So let's get D1-8, D1-15, D1-6. D1-8. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. It came out a couple of years ago. I heard good things. I just never saw it. But this is that version of Megatron. It's basically like Cybertron Megatron. Basically is the easiest way to describe it, because it's just Megatron from that film, so he doesn't look like he would on Earth. Compared to this version that we built previously, which is a giant friend. We'll zoom out a little bit. This Megatron is Generation 1 Megatron, for sure. That's a big end. That was a big kit that we built. And now we're working on the smaller version. Yeah, I knew the gist of the film, just haven't watched it. Yeah, heck yeah. So that was the only pre-show that has been announced for AEW Dynasty tomorrow. So we don't know any other matches on the card for pre-show. But we do have other matches that are on the card that we can chat about, and we will chat about those now. All right, so that's D8. Where's D15? Is this one? As someone that has the gun, I mean, Megatron, no kid should have been allowed that toy. Yes. Megatron was one of the few Transformers I was not allowed to have as a child because it transformed into a gun, and my mom did not want me to play with toy guns. Which is fair. At the time, it was frustrating because I wanted to have Megatron, because I wanted to have someone for Optimus Prime to fight that wasn't Starscream. Starscream became my main antagonist of my play, because I was able to have jets. So no Duck Hunt. Lord Crashington, I did not get an NES at first when it first came out. It was a couple years later, and when I did get it, it did have that gun, but that was part of the NES. That was not to be played with outside of the NES, basically. So that was a concession, because it was a controller for a game. But I didn't take it out with me to play guns or whatever. Whoops. That flew off. Luckily, this piece flew high and fell straight back down, which is great for me. And I don't know why it's not going in easily. There it is. The Megatron Transformers toy was ridiculous. It wasn't a weapon other Transformers held. It was a human-sized gun. Yes, they didn't want to make Megatron a smaller Transformer, so they just made it a gun you could hold. Like a, probably not to scale, but very close to scale gun. That was their big thing. They were just like, oh yeah. Oh, I think I'm putting this on wrong. Maybe that's why. There it is. Okay. The reason why this piece wasn't fitting right is because I was doing it wrong. And again, obviously these instructions are small for my eye. I need new glasses. I'm getting them. I have an appointment for a vision exam this month, so I probably won't actually get glasses to May, but I am in the process of making that happen because it is long overdue. for me to freaking do that. So, but when I do have new glasses, that'll be great. But in the meantime, yeah, I just got to figure it out. AW Dynasty tomorrow. We'll talk about the card and what's going on there. Here, we've got a few of them of things to talk about here. The AEW tag team belts are on the line. FTR, that's Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood with Stokely Hathaway, our champions. They are taking on Cope and Cage. That's Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. That's right. Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, and Christian Cage, formerly known as Christian, they're in Canada, and I think they're winning the belts. That makes the most sense to me. Now, do I really want men in their mid-50s and a company full of such young, promising, exceptional talent? Do I really want old men like that holding the belts? And the answer is no, but also it's not really about me and about what I want. I'm also bored with FTR being champions, so I do think that we'll probably see a rematch, Double or Nothing. And then I hope that after that, we see some young upstarts trying to take the belts from the old men. My actual genuine fear is that they lose and have a rematch, another chance and we're just dragging this out. Christian Cage having no title in AEW doesn't bother me as much as Cope, just because Cope is just annoying to listen to on the mic, and we'll hear him a lot if they are tag champs. There's like a no-win situation here for me personally, but I'm going to go with my gut and say it's going to be Cope and Cage. They're going to pull off the victory because the alternative doesn't make as much sense to me anyway. So I think that's the way to go. If you're gonna do it, they just fucking do it. Jon Moxley is defending the AEW Continental Championship against Will Ospreay. When this match was not for the title, I thought for sure that was because they wanted to keep the belt on Moxley, but they wanted Will to win. Will should win this match. It will be odd if he doesn't win this match. Was this E10? Did I pull the right piece out of here? No, this is the wrong piece. See? I was like, oh, that doesn't look right. Because it wasn't. E10 and E11. I'm going to go like this. Now that the belt is on the line, I don't think that Will Ospreay should have a mid-card title. I think Will Ospreay, I guess Will Ospreay could give it up in exchange for a main title opportunity or something, but like, to me, Will Ospreay is winning the AEW World Championship, Men's World Championship, I should say, at All In this summer. Hey, Jushin, welcome. I think that is when he is going to win the belt. So, like, I guess he could have a short run with the Continental title. I also don't think that Will Ospreay should be losing this match with Jon Moxley. But I don't want him to have that belt, so it's just like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if there is a good way to go about this. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for any of this. I just have like my feeling. One, I don't think Moxley should have a mid-card title either. I think Takeshita should have beaten him. I think that Takeshita should have won. I think Takeshita would have been a great mid-card champion. I think it is weird that he didn't beat him, and then we had a short redemption arc for Moxley, and then that's gone now, so he can be a full heel. Why did we do that? So Jushin, I probably have a WWE rant in me that I'll do a bit more definitively around the time of WrestleMania, but my general thought is I don't care about what happens in the WWE. there are wrestlers there that I like. There's talent there that I wish I could watch, but I don't watch WWE. And so I don't get to see that talent. And that is the thing I think most about WWE is I wish the people that I liked didn't work there anymore. I'm glad they have jobs. I'm glad they have, they get to wrestle for a living and entertain folks. But I don't care about the WWE and what they do. And they don't seem to care about wrestling either and what happens there. So, yeah. But, like, Sami Zayn, always love. Yeah, Chujin, like, yes, of course. But, like, Pat McAfee sucks as a person and as an entertainer and as a commentator. But that company sucks. So he's perfect for them. Like, they hire shitty people. They hire good people, but they also hire shitty people. Like, I can't begin to feel betrayed or bad that Jelly Roll is the voice of reason in the WWE. Like, I can't feel bad about that because the company sucks. Like, so I'm like, all right, yeah. You got a fucking shitty football commentator, man, in your main event. Okay. So yeah, all right. I don't know. Like, I can only think about them so much, you know? Like, it's just like, okay, sure. But yeah. Even when I didn't enjoy what was going on in WWE, I would watch the Royal Rumble. This year was the first Royal Rumble that I have missed since I started watching wrestling. And because I wasn't going to watch this year. And that felt weird and bad, but also felt fucking freeing to be like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to see this one. Oh yeah, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to see the pay-per-view I watched even when I wasn't watching. Okay. Yeah. It is I am free of them. I have one. But yeah, I wish Sami Zayn, I wish Austin Creed, Xavier Woods, worked other places. I wish Penta worked other places. I mean, there's a pretty... I don't wish this for Joe Hendry because I'm so happy for Joe Hendry. I do wish that I could see Joe Hendry in Indy being creative on the Indies. I am happy that Joe Hendry doesn't work for TNA anymore because they were wasting him by not making him champ as soon as he fucking got there. Like, oh, you're going to put him with your digital media championship against Moose? What are you doing? But like, so I'm happy that Joe Hendry is fucking finally getting paid on the big time. So I'm not saying like I wish, but I do miss seeing Joe Hendry on the Indies. The Royal Rumble and WrestleMania were two biggest casual events to tune in. They ruined the vibes around them with everything management is doing. Yep. Yeah, basically. Yeah, the vibes are rancid. And so it's just like, yeah, all right. Going back to the the AEW pay-per-view that is happening tomorrow, that we've been chatting about here. Andrade El Idolo is wrestling Darby Allin. Now, if Darby Allin wins, he becomes the number one contender for the AEW Men's World Championship, specifically the men's one. He doesn't get a chance to fight Tekla. If Andrade wins, question mark. Like, I know storyline-wise, Don Callis is being paid by MJF to do some of the bidding of MJF, right? Like, that is a storyline thing that is happening right there, and it's like, okay, sure, all right, that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. Fine. Like, I get it. Okay, but like, why does Andrade care? Like, he wants to be world champion, right? So he doesn't want Darby to get a number one contendership. But it's that weird thing where it's like, well, why isn't the winner becomes the number one contender? To me, that makes the most sense. And I'm like, is that because they both don't want Darby to win and they don't want Andrade to be number one contender? I'm like, that feels weird. It feels like a weird thing. So I don't think it's that. I don't know why. I don't know why it's just not that. Because I still think Darby's going to win. Because I think Darby is going to be his opponent at MJF's opponent at Double or Nothing. I think that's when they'll do that. Spoilers, because I think MJF is winning tomorrow night. So I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I still think it's going to be Darby. It's just this was booked in a strange way, in my opinion. So I'm like a little confused about why certain things are happening the way they're happening. But at the end of the day, it's just like that's where I think they're going. Tekla, I say Thekla sometimes. Tekla is defending the Women's World Championship against Jamie Hayter, and Tekla wins. This is another notch for Tekla. If there was a Canadian wrestling, maybe I would consider the idea that Tekla was going to lose if there was a Canadian to be in that position, because maybe they would want that pop. But there isn't, so I feel like it's the champion. I mean, it doesn't... Because again, like I said, I feel like Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter have a tag team name and tag team music, and so I feel like they're going after the tag team belts. To me, that is the thing that makes the most sense. So, have them do that, you know? I don't know who's next for Tekla. I'm going to refresh here. Okay, so half an hour left in Collision. No new matches added. We'll keep an eye on that. There is a Casino Gauntlet match for the vacant AEW TNT Championship. Right now, we know that Tommaso Ciampa and Rush are in it. And we don't know anyone else that is in that match. Maybe Anthony Bowens is in it because he was in that match to get the spot. So maybe you could say Anthony Bowens is in it, but we don't know that for sure. I need D5. So yeah, so I don't know. Wait. D15. Oh, okay. It goes like that. That's what it is. So yeah, we don't know for sure who is gonna win this one. Ciampa winning it again does make some sense, but I do like the idea of Ciampa losing and just losing his mind. Like once he doesn't win the belt back and just kind of loses his goddamn mind. That to me is very interesting. So I like the idea of him being like, even if it's Ciampa takes the pin, you know, like I think that is kind of cool. As for who wins it, I don't think it's going to be Rush. I could see it being someone in the Don Callis family, so they keep the TNT belt there, and then Kyle comes back and wants the belt back, because Kyle Fletcher is the way Ciampa acts about the belt makes me uncomfortable. I hope he loses. See, Lashbrook, that would be good, because if he wins it, you'll want him to lose the belt, and that would be there'd be some stakes there. So maybe that's the way to go, is to make you continue to make you specifically uncomfortable. No, I don't necessarily think that's what they're going for there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win this one. Now, I should say, if Speedball Mike Bailey is in it, there's your Canadian win. Because right now, I have Cope and Christian being the only Canadians that win. And so, like, I could see Speedball winning it, because now that he doesn't have a tag or trios belt. Unless they do something with Speedball and Kevin Knight and a new third partner or something. They could theoretically do that. I don't know if they're going to do that, but they could do that on the card. But But it would be, but like, you know, I might pick Speedball just because I want to manifest that for the cool Speedball Mike Bailey. But yeah, I really don't know. Someone in Don Callis' family winning makes sense to me. Like Hechicero winning makes some sense. I would have said Takeshita, but Takeshita is in a match. The Young Bucks are taking on Okada and Takeshita in a tag match. It's just a personal beef match. There's nothing on the line. We do know that Okada and Takeshita are facing each other in a one-on-one match at Double or Nothing, and so this is them tagging together before they face each other. What does that actually mean? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know what that could mean for them. I mean, what it probably means is they just have a quick little match against them. I feel like Okada and Takeshita win by one of them like stealing the pin for the other, like a blind tag, cheeky win. That feels right to me. I don't know if that's the actual way this is going to go, but that does, to me, feel like a good dick move. That's what I'm gonna call that. I'm gonna go for that. Chris Jericho is back, and he's wrestling Ricochet, and he's gonna win. There's your other Canadian win. That's your other big baby face win. It's fucking Chris Jericho, but like Ricochet's going to make him look incredible. He's going to make him look so good that people are going to be like, "Oh, Jericho's back. This is the Jericho of old. Like, we got this Chris Jericho is finally here. Like, we're so excited about that." Like, I think people will just kind of fucking forget that he has been bad. And then people were like, well, he's only going to be facing him once. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course he's going to be facing him multiple times. It's the Vortex. Ricochet is fucking stuck here. Jericho will win on the pay-per-views. Ricochet will win on Dynamite. Like, that's the MO of Chris Jericho. I did miss a piece here. So I can put that on. Hold on, I'll be right back. I dropped a thing here, so hold on. All back. Oh, you can hear me talking. All right, let me get what I need, and then I'll come back. And I'll be back in just a second, and I'm back. Oops, hello. Main event, MJF versus Kenny Omega for the Men's World Championship. Right now, Willow is not defending her TBS title. The Women's Tag Champions, what is it, Divine something or other, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, they are not defending their tag team championships. It is a night where the trios, as of right now, have not been announced for defending. We don't know if that will change. Right now, it's just some goose eggs here. We don't got a lot going on. So we can do a wide stance on this. We are going to panel line this and kind of wrap things up. So we can do the wide stance here with the weapon if we want to do that. We'll play around with it. MJF wins. This is going to be a great match. I could see this going fucking 45 minutes. Kyle Fletcher, not on the card. The guy that likes to go really long, not on the card, so you don't have to worry about that. Because he's injured. Who else? But yeah, this match could go long. Will Ospreay also loves to go too long, but he's in a match with a 20-minute time limit, so that helps that. Yeah. So yeah, this kit doesn't really need panel lining, but we'll give it some panel lining. Yeah, I'm not sure what else is going to happen on the pay-per-view there, but we'll figure it out. I think it'll be a good match, but ultimately MJF is going to win, and I don't think there's any way around that. And I don't mind that. I like MJF as a worker. I like him as a wrestler. I like him on promos. I know that is an unpopular opinion, but that is the opinion. Some bonus stuff that we can chat about. I think Mercedes Moné is going to appear. And I think that Mercedes... So there was the question, what's going to happen when Mercedes comes back? And I think that Mercedes is going to still be a heel, but be a sympathetic heel that people feel bad for because she has dropped all her titles. The only title that Mercedes has left is a belt that is not a title. It is the Owen. I think that Mercedes Moné is going to go into the Owen Hart Memorial Classic looking to win again. She's going to look to leave the Owen with the belt and never actually drop it, which is an interesting idea they haven't done before. So I think that's going to be her MO. So I think they're in Canada, so they'll announce the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, and I think she's going to come out and say, like, I'm still the champion until I lose this. I think that's what's going to happen. So I don't think she's going to get involved in a mall. Hey, Lysander, I'm sorry. I don't think she's going to get involved in a match at all. There is a chance that they maybe could do something with like Willow Nightingale Open Challenge, and then it's Mercedes and she gets a pop for coming back. But then they don't have the match. I don't know. They could do something like that, but I don't know what they're going to do. But I think Mercedes comes back. And then friends and I were chatting about how many members of the Death Riders are going to be in the Casino Gauntlet, and how many members of the Don Callis family are going to be in the Casino Gauntlet. I'm like, it might be like half the people in that gauntlet could end up being in one of those two sections, because nobody on Don Callis family has anything going on in there. I feel like Juice Robinson is an easy lock for that. I feel like for appearing in there. Orange Cassidy, I would love to see. I mean, honestly, Orange winning the TNT Championship would at least be fun. I think he's above that, but I don't think AEW thinks that, so that would be neat. Although what most likely is going to happen is that OC and maybe Mark Briscoe and Roddy Strong are going to go after the trios belts to put over the dogs. That feels more likely than anything else, which sucks. OC is better than the dogs. Maybe Dalton Castle, I know, is in Canada. Maybe Dalton Castle will make an appearance. That would be fun. But yeah, there are some wrestlers that could appear there that would be good to appear on there. We'll keep this up in case anything gets announced. But right now, nothing else has been announced. But like, there's got to be at least one more pre-show, and maybe we'll hear some more people who are in that. And I imagine right now there's only 8 matches, but it's AEW, so there's only 8 matches. Let's see. A couple gaming news items here. So supposedly, these are leaks, and I don't usually talk about this, but apparently Epic is working on an extraction shooter, heavily using the fucking, like, for Disney. Like, a Disney extraction shooter is, like, supposedly what's happening here. The first of 3 games in development at Epic that are connected to Disney. Online shooter. And supposedly it's launching in November. Now, Epic did say, like, hey, no, Bloomberg is wrong. That they got this wrong. And even though there were layoffs, their plans remain unchanged. But yeah, basically, it wasn't a no comment. They were just like, they didn't get nitty gritty, but they're like, hey, we're planning a lot of stuff that's bigger than what you're thinking. Your tiny brains can't comprehend our cool ideas for what to do with Mickey Mouse in an Epic video game. Not a lot of news this weekend to talk about here. YouTube is raising its price for YouTube Premium. And I say that just so that people aren't caught off guard by that. They use YouTube Premium. And to say, I am one of the people that uses YouTube Premium. Because the nature of the work I do, my day job stuff, the stuff I do during the day, I have YouTube on in a separate monitor all day. I have YouTube videos running all day, different kinds of videos, all different sorts of kinds of content. And then also I use YouTube Music as my primary music provider. Outside of the MP3s that I've had for generations now. But I pay for YouTube Premium. It used to be a work thing. I've talked about this before, but because I would enter random theaters and using other people's computers for work, sometimes people would ask to play music from a YouTube link or a YouTube video in something, and I didn't want ads to pop up. I didn't want pop-up ads. I didn't want ad breaks to play while I was trying to get things ready. And so the easy solution was just to have YouTube Premium. It was paid for by my work in many cases, and then I kept it. Because again, I watch YouTube videos all day, and I don't want to keep up with different ad blockers and not have an ad blocker work. Like, it's just so convenient. And then also, as someone that makes YouTube videos that I would like people to watch, they get credit for me watching as if I watched the ad, which is really nice. That is a nice little feature. So I like that feature, and I don't mind paying to make that happen. But it is going up, and I think that's fine for me. The light subscription goes from $8 a month to $9. Premium go from $14 to $16 a month. And the premium plan is going up a couple bucks. And, you know, there's some snarkiness about that. But to me, it's just like, yeah, it's fine. $16 a month for no ads on YouTube, considering that I watch many hours of YouTube per day going on while I do other things. And the music service, which is actually pretty fucking great. Yeah, fine by me. Not complaining about that. Totally understand why other people are mad about it, but I am not mad about it. But that's just me. Let's see. Somebody listed Rust 2 on Steam, but it wasn't Face Punch. According to Gary Newman, we're not making Rust 2. I have no idea at all what the mysterious Rust 2 listing was about or who's behind it. So, yeah. There is no Rust 2, apparently. But somebody made a page for it, which is, you know, fun, I guess. Good for them for getting people's hopes up. Hooray. Mission accomplished. Assholes. Let's see. Sorry, I'm yawning. Apologize. I'm a little tired. A little tired today. Had a bunch of stuff going on. Got a lot of it done, but I'm a little tired, and I apologize for being a little sleepy weepy. All right, that's it for this. We are done with this this build here. We will clean it up, and then we'll do a little compare and contrast. And then in the second hour, I've got a little Pokemon build. I got a Rowlet build that I'll do. I haven't done that in a while. It's just in my backlog for a long time. So let's just build a fucking Rowlet. That'll be nice and fun. While I talk about some anime in the second hour. Let's see. Is there any other news here? I'm looking here on Kotaku for any other news stories that I thought would be interesting to chat with you about. Let's see. Anything else? Pardon me. Sorry about that. Oh, Luna shit. More Luna nonsense is going on. You may remember as that Amazon Luna, the game streaming service. They are basically they're getting rid of a lot of stuff with Luna. And basically they're no longer going to be selling individual games, because you used to be able. Here's the thing: you could just, instead of just streaming games you had through Luna, you could buy games through Luna that you would then stream through Luna, which sounds like a bad fucking deal. And I'm sorry to anyone that did it. So they're not going to do that anymore. And you can't do third-party subscriptions, because they used to have deals where, oh, I have, Game Pass and I can stream games on Game Pass through Luna and that kind of thing. Yeah, oh, sorry, like Ubisoft, EA, and other things. But if you bought a game through Luna in June, you don't get to do that anymore. So you just don't get to play it. Because you, like, let's say you don't have a machine that can handle a game that you bought through, let's say, Ubisoft, right? Assassin's Creed. The latest Assassin's Creed. Your computer cannot handle that shit. But you got Luna, so you could play it through that, and it's working great. Well, you can't use Luna anymore. So basically the game, now you have to find another way to play that game. And of course, that's also in 2026, where, hey, it's buying like a game console is an insane purchase. And buying building your own PC is just a ridiculous pipe dream. So it's pretty fucked. But basically in 2025, Amazon was like, hey, we're going to focus on like casual games, not hardcore stuff, like Jackbox kind of things. But yeah. Don't, much like Stadia, don't buy a game through a streaming service. Please don't. Please don't do that. Because it's just going to fuck you over in the long run. All right, let's take a photo of this, and then we'll do a little compare and contrast here. Oh, good. All right, so let's do this, the compare and contrast. So this is our Transformers 1 version of Megatron. This is the $20 kit. This is the $40 kit. Obviously, the $40 kit is more substantial in its size and its gimmicks. Instead of shaking it to get a little bit of a light in the eyes, you use the magnet to get a big light in the eyes and a big light on the chest. The weapons are obviously different because one is from 1 and one is from the original series. They neither really need markers, but they look good with a little bit of marker added to it. They both feel substantial. Obviously, this feels heavier because it's a bigger kit, but this still feels substantial, and I think looks very good. This looks like an action figure more than a model kit. Looks like the G1 version could be a pretender shell for the TF1. Yeah, maybe. And I think this feels like a model kit, not like an action figure. This feels pretty solid. I'm happy with how it turned out. A big question that I've had myself is this worth twice as much as this? And I would say yes. But I also don't think this is worth $20. I think this is very intricate in its design, but I think that it's hard. That's a hard question to answer. This didn't feel like a substantial build at $20 to me. This for $40, like this came with a bunch of accessories, a bunch of other weapons, laser beak, and also the stand it can sit on. Although it does not sit well on its throne. It comes with the stand. It comes with that. This comes with the stand and a little effects, which is nice. $40 is a fucking lot, but I think this was worth the $40 and a fun experience. I'm starting to feel like these for $20 feels like maybe a little like the build is. I have to remember, folks, and I apologize, but I do have to remember when we talk about these kind of things that I am coming from a place of I am buying things to build on stream. This took like 2 hours to put together. $10 an hour doesn't really work for me as much as a $25 model kit that like a Gundam that is going to take 2 streams, like 4 hours to build. And maybe that's not fair. From that perspective, this is not worth $20. This is worth twice as much as this. From a just design and enjoyment, I think this is a cool thing. I love a snap kit that does not require any tools. No stickers, no tools. This could be your first build. Now, the instructions are too small for that. So I think that's certainly a shame. I think that's just too small. The instruction booklet, even though it's all in color, it's just a little too small, and I don't love that. But overall, I would say if you haven't built one of these, you should get a BLOKEES kit. I think it would be a nice purchase, and you should go for it because I think they're solid. And I have 2 on my Amazon wish list. If you want me to build another one of these kits, I certainly will, because I have 2 more. But right now I'm like, I don't know. I might be good. I might be good on them for a while. I don't think I will be buying them off my own wish list anytime soon to build. I did say that we were going to build a little Rowlet. We do have a little Rowlet to work on in the second hour while I talk about some anime. And then I will do a poll for my patrons tomorrow, my $10 patrons, about what I start on Monday. I do have coming in the mail, I believe Tuesday or Wednesday, something that will be considered a wish list purchase, something sent to me from the community, which is rad, and that will be things that I build after I'm done with whatever I'm working on Monday. But let me get that. So hold on. We'll go to this screen here, and then I'll actually be right back, and I will be right back. Talking while I go and get what I need to get. While I get the thing, the Rowlet. I'm getting a Rowlet. Hey, I got a Rowlet. Turtle power. I don't know why I said it like that. But yeah, here's the Rowlet. Rowlet box. We'll do that after the pause for the cause. Nice little quick kit here. One of my least favorite things, we'll talk about that, is how the instructions are on that. But we'll talk about that. Now we're going to do the pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you about ways that you can support what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you is optional. You don't have to do any of this stuff. But if you wanted to, that would be nice. You certainly could. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, or the Tier 2 Blue emote, if you're a Tier 2. Like Aristofan who just subbed 91 months. Thank you so much, Aristofan, our Tier 2 subscriber. Let's also throw the emotes in the chat and thank Aristofan for the continued support. Perfect timing. I was just saying that if you were a tier 2, you could put in those emotes, and there's our tier 2, which is great. Thank you very much, Aristofan, for the continued support at the tier 2. But yeah, that is just a simple way to support what I do here. You could gift a sub, be part of the gift sub leaderboard. You could drop some bits and coins. There are various ways to support what I do here. I do have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. As mentioned, my $10 patrons tomorrow are going to vote on what I start on Monday. And I'm going to put up some, I don't know what I'm going to put up on the list. It'll be 3 things. A Lego set and 2 model kits, probably is what's going to be. And they'll be able to vote on that. Is there anything else I want to say? Oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can of course subscribe for free if you want to do that. That is a way to support me, is to subscribe over on the YouTube. Hold on one second. Let me just here. No, okay. So that is a way to support me if you want to jump in the old YouTube. For just $2 a month, you become a member. And you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you get to see that, which is nice. It helps me out quite a bit. Because I do a weekly series that comes out on Wednesday, but you get to see that ahead of other people, which is nice. I'm sorry, I'm just checking something really quick here. On my AdSense. It did. Okay, great. I'm almost 1/5 of the way to another payout. Don't think I'm going to hit that this year. Another Google payout, but whatever, it's fine. Those are all monthly ways to support what I do here. If you just want to throw something in the tip jar, you could do that. I have a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you can make a donation. And everything that comes in, direct donations, YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps you out. Patreon and Twitch all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets and equipment. Like this, I bought this thing. Was very happy to finish building that. Also, I have a new adapter, a new HDMI to USB 3.0 converter that I've bought. It's more expensive than the previous one that I have, which I'm going to return, because that is under the warranty, thankfully. But yeah, I got a new hot one that is coming tomorrow, actually. Sunday Amazon delivery. And then I will have tomorrow night and then all day Monday, basically, to get that working so that it works for you to see the overhead camera stuff even better. Let's see. I mentioned I have a backlog and I have something coming in the mail from the community. If you want to buy something for me to build, the best way to do that is to go to my Amazon wish list. Over on the wish list, I have model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, some knockoff third-party stuff, all kinds of different things and things. And I would love to put things together, and you could buy them for me to do that if you wanted to. Obviously, no pressure. Some people have in the past, and it means a lot. Some people never have, and that's also fucking okay, because times are tough out there. But if you want to see me build a Lego Technic bush plane, that's on the wish list. You could buy that, and I'll build that. That'd be a neat little biplane. That would be kind of fun. Or you want to see me build the Gundam G-Self with the Perfect Pack, which does the bonus stuff on the G-Self. I certainly would do that, because we haven't built a lot from Reconquista in G, but it would be kind of neat to do that. So you could do that. You got options of a bunch of different things and things you could buy for me to build if you wanted to. The world's your oyster. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne, because it's nice to have alternatives out there. It's nice to have some other options. And let's see, what else? What else? Oh, yeah. The most convoluted and complicated way to support me is to go to USA Gundam Store and buy a gift card. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card, they will send you the code in an email. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. It's that simple. Pretty good. Sorry, I'm just looking at something right here. And, okay. Collision is over. No updates to tomorrow's show right now. We'll see if anything gets added later. What else? I got a Discord. If you want to join my Discord, here's the link in chat. It's also in the show description below the YouTube archive of this. What's up, VOD watchers? Thanks for watching. But yeah, join my Discord. It's a lovely place. We'd love to have you there. Couple video links for you to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday. But right now I have 2 to watch. One is a timed thing, and one is just one you should check out. There's a new season of anime, and the previous season, I talked about that in a video. And there's also another link to my kind of voter guide for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards that are happening, or that voting is happening right now until, I think, the 14th. And so I have, or maybe the 15th, I can't remember. But I have that, so you can check out my voting guide and see how I decided I was going to vote. Maybe you'll agree. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series where every week I put up a video about something that I'm excited about and want you to check out. Every month has a theme. This month's theme is my favorite shows from the winter 2026 season, including The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-Be Bride, which is a lovely romantic comedy series that takes place in an office about a detective who is an invisible man and his assistant in the office worker who is blind. And they fall in love, and it's adorable. And there's a good sporting cast and decent handling of some queer issues throughout, and some action and some fight scenes, which are never super great, but are okay. They certainly didn't have a lot of money for excellent fight choreography, but it's still good. It's a very fun show, and you should check it out. And then that's it for the stuff I want to talk about there. We are going to take a little break here, transition back to the overhead camera. I'm going to drink some water. We got some anime to chat about in the second hour, and we're going to build a cute little model kit. And we'll do all of that right now. Very rare. I dripped some water there, so we'll just get that up. But underneath these lights, this should dry pretty fast. I've almost never spilled my water in a build scenario. All right. So we are going to build this Rowlet. Now the problem with this is that the instructions are inside the cardboard box. This is a quick kit, so we'll build it, and then we will put on the stickers, and then we will do a little panel lining on it to make it look nice. I just have this as like a little fun thing to do. I think I was planning to work on this during my subathon. We didn't get to it. So I was saving it for a special occasion. In this case, this stream. So yeah, we'll just build this little thing and then we'll panelize. Just a fun little extra thing. And then also we're going to talk about some anime that I've been watching. Episode 2 of an observation log of my fiancée who called herself a Villainess. This is a fun isekai. It is mostly through the perspective of our main character, who is a prince named Cecil, and Bertia. Bertia is a young lady that claims that she is a villainess, and she is the main villain in this story, that she is from another world, that she remembers this game, this Otome game, and she is just living out her life. And he is, I don't know if he really believes her, but he does at least believe that she is aware of some events. Like, she predicted a few things that then didn't happen, and she's like, that's weird, they went against the story. And that's because he at least investigated those things. Like, there wasn't a plague. He has basically like removed some of her tragic backstory from before the game events, because like he was able to prevent those things. And then also he did give her a cure-all because she is important to him, and she finds that weird. That was the first episode. Now in episode 2, okay, we're gonna do 2 of these, huh? Okay. I need A26. Sorry. Here it is. Let's see. Yes. Cecil notices that Bertia is familiar with a Viscount named Constantier. And in now, Bertia is like, yes, he's the one that in the game corrupted my father. But because my mother is still alive, my father is like probably not going to get corrupted, but that's the plot of the story. So I went to him for some advice because like I need to be a good nasty villain. And so, which is, again, it's all very charming because she is a young lady. So she's just an eccentric young lady at this point. And apparently, among other things, our Viscount is a known pedophile. So Cecil is fucking furious that she's spending time with her because, again, Bertia is just convinced that the world she is in is a video game world, and so she doesn't think about the consequences of her actions. Because to her, it's just a game that she now inhabits, so the script is the most important thing. Like, the story going is more important than other things. Which is obviously fucked up, but like kind of understandable. Okay, so put it like that. Ooh, this looks neat. And Bertia is shocked that Cecil is so mad and names the co-conspirators, who and then Cecil convinces one of his guys to like that it would be very important to spy on them and collect evidence. 6 months later, Cecil is attending the academy, and Bertia is just like, oh, hey, just so you know, my mom's pregnant. And that's weird. And again, to her, it's weird because her mom, dies in the story. And so now there is a child. There is a baby named Aneth is born, and Bertie is just like, yeah, that didn't happen in the story because my mom died. And that kind of ruins the plans, because part of the evil plans that push things along is that our girl was denied the chance to inherit the land because the evil people were going to have we're going to pull her in, and they had a plan that was going to make her in a new family, but now they're not going to do that. Basically, there's a lot of stuff here. They are making sure that basically, how do I describe this? A lot of details of the game world have changed due to the birth of this kid, and it puts forth a lot of stuff. Also, Cecil has some stuff to do with that, but our girl doesn't recognize that, and she's like, I'm really worried that the game world is going to try to put things back on track and kill this baby, which there is no evidence right now that the game world is trying to proceed as she remembers the game. Like, there is no evidence at all that is the case. It is literally just what she is assuming is happening. But she is afraid. Because there was a guy named Courtgain that was originally supposed to be adopted into the family to become the heir, and now that won't happen. And so Cecil solves that problem by having Courtgain adopted by another noble family. So that way the game, it's sort of still on track, even though it's not perfect for her liking. It's still moves are happening. And Bertia, we now learn that Bertia never got the harem ending. That there is a harem ending where the heroine, who we haven't met yet, she has not been, we haven't met her yet, but there is apparently an ending where the main girl ends up with all of the guys, the harem route. And Bertia never got that way, so she doesn't know how to do that. She doesn't know what the steps are for that. Cecil tells Bertia that there are light spirits around that can use hypnosis magic. And apparently Zeno, his aide, is a spirit. And also the fox, Kuro, the dark fox that you and I, the viewers of the show, knew was somehow related to magic and somehow important. But she didn't know. She did not recognize that she had made a pact with that by naming the fox. And then at the end of this episode, we have a tease where a lady named Heronia shows up with a light spirit named P. And her name is Heronia. You can guess what her deal is. That's right. She's not the villain. No. She is clearly the clearly she is the next romantic or she is the heroine of the story. So this is fun. I love that there's information about the world that goes beyond what our character knows. She is very dumb in a way that might get annoying, but right now is still charming. It is still charming that she is just because she does have concern for this baby, but mostly she's still focused on the plot, even though it's gone off kilter, and maybe she should recognize at this point it's not gonna go back. Like, she's not gonna be able to get it back on track, and then the world is not trying to force that because she's already by talking about it with Cecil, she's already changed the world and what happens in it, but she's just completely unaware of that. And that's still kind of fun. It's still kind of engaging. I'm going to keep watching this one. I like this one. Now, Snowball Earth. I'm going to give it the 3 episodes. But I'll tell you this, folks. At the end of this episode, I was missing episode 1. Now, if you missed episode 1 of Snowball Earth, basically, it's a mech series about a dork who pilots a mech and fights kaiju in space. And he's socially awkward, and there's a lot of comic relief. But then almost every character we've been introduced to dies tragically. And he almost dies, but instead his AI-powered robot, artificial intelligence, not Claude, dies to protect him, and basically just wants him to make some friends and have a good life. And then our guy travels through space and eventually ends up on Earth, but Earth is frozen. And that's how the first episode ends. So this show is not about an awkward teen who was an awkward child and grew up to be an awkward teen fighting monsters and trying to have interpersonal relationships and figure out how the fuck that works. So episode 2, he finds a mini excavator, which he's going to travel and traverse the lands with, and he's going to be in search of people so that he can make friends with them. He's going to get 100 friends. He's looking for survivors. There are kaiju on Earth. There are smaller sized kaiju on Earth, and they both fall into a cave, and he kills the kaiju by using the excavator, the mini excavator, to stab it in the brain. And it's pretty graphic and kind of cool. And then eventually he runs into 3 survivors, including someone named Ao, who is the leader of these trio. But our boy, not good with the social interacting, kind of blows the first meeting, totally fucks it up. And faints, like literally faints in front of them, because he just kind of hyperventilates and gets really nervous about the idea of talking to strangers and all that. He wakes up from unconsciousness and finds out that there are other survivors, and they are excavating the dead kaiju that he used. They are using it for materials and resources, and that's very smart. We meet Hagane, who befriends our boy Tetsuo. Also, his name is fucking Tetsuo. But anyway, he befriends Tetsuo because Tetsuo saves his child from falling ice. And everyone's fucking psyched about that. The character Ao that we met earlier has started to believe that Tetsuo was not a threat. And then, cliffhanger, another kaiju appears. And this kaiju looks kind of humanoid, much more than the other ones, which means that they've evolved some. And again, I'm going to give this show a 3rd episode, but it's not doing a lot for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird in a way that I can appreciate, but also, it like, I don't know, what episode 1, which is basically the prologue for the real series, is just way more engaging. Like this whole like survival thing, awkwardness, trying to make friends. There's a grand mystery. It clearly took him longer than he thinks it did to get to Earth because it's fucking frozen. Why did it freeze? What happened? You know, what happened to his dad on, and other survivors that he knew. How much time has changed? Why is this humanoid kaiju there? Like, there's a bunch of answers it's going to solve, but I can't keep thinking about what could have been. It's to me, it's the same way that I felt about how things became they're so goofy, but oh God, what show what was I thinking of? Brain fart. Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone had like a very fun premise, and then it was like, actually, there's going to be a war, and now everything's prepping for this war. And I'm like, but the action adventure series with the 3 friends, the thing that you set up like you were going to do, that just seems so fucking neat. You're not going to do that? Bummer. It's a fucking bummer. So that's kind of how I feel about that. I'm going to give it a 3rd episode, but I could see myself dropping Snowball Earth during the next that episode, or perhaps I could also see myself just like not ever actually checking it out, like, you know, finishing it and then being like, okay, I'm good. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm not sure. What I do know for sure, friends, is that I finished this. I finished it. Our little owl is done. Our owl friend is been completed. We finished the fight on our owl. We did a Megatron and an owl, and I panel lined it. This is a cute little fun build. I do like the quick ones. So I am excited about that. We are going to take a photo of it. So we'll do that. And My $10 patrons will vote on what I'm going to be building next. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know what I'm going to put up for options. It's just going to be wobbly. Our friend here is just wobbly. But there's our Rowlet. Done. And as I said, I think I am going to end things a little early tonight. My apologies for that. I am pretty fucking tired. I did have a bunch of stuff I did today. And I am a little zonked out. So I do apologize for that, for not giving you the full 2-hour stream. But I do think we are going to call it there. I'm going to get rid of this little Rowlet friend. We did finish up Rowlet. But we'll be starting something new on Monday, and that'll be fun. And yeah, I want to apologize for kind of end things early. But we are going to end with a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend a little time with them. And let's see, who should we go and raid? Who is doing stuff? I don't know how much longer will they be going? Well, you know what? They'll probably be going a half hour. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to go raid, because I think they'll be going for a while longer. We're going to go raid Loading Ready Run, who are they're doing watch and play, which is where Graham prepares terrible video games for Alex to play, and Alex has no idea what's coming, and then plays bad video games. And sometimes they're weird, and occasionally they're great. I appreciate that, Lashbrook. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, so we're going to go raid, because we'll get a little time with that, which will be nice, because I think they're just fantastic folks, and a good time. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And please come along on this raid, and then come back on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the start of something new. And again, sorry for the short stream. It happens. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.